Wilson was a quiet 13-year-old boy. One afternoon, a massive old house in his neighborhood held a secondhand sale. Wilson went with his mom to check it out. Among the dusty shelves and broken furniture, something caught his eyes, a strange toy. It was a beautiful doll called Luvuvu. Her glassy blue eyes shimmered. Her face had a wide, cheerful smile. Her ears looked like those of a rabbit, and her fur shone in a golden color. Despite being old, Wilson felt a mysterious attachment to the doll. He also knew that if he showed this rare toy to his friends, he would instantly become popular. After a lot of begging, his mom Ella finally bought the doll for him. Back home, Wilson placed it on his shelf and went back to his homework. But every time his eyes glanced at the doll, he felt as if it was smiling wider, almost inviting him closer. Eventually, he gave up his homework and started playing with it. Just then, his mom called him downstairs. The moment Wilson left the room, a heavy metal trophy fell from the top shelf, exactly where Wilson had been sitting. Had he stayed, it would have crushed his skull. From that day on, strange things began happening in the house. Objects toppled over on their own, light bulbs burst without reason, and cracks appeared in the glass windows. Even more disturbing, Wilson noticed the doll's smile seemed to be stretching wider and wider every single day. When he told his father about it, his dad dismissed it as a child's imagination, but promised to take the doll and throw it away the next day. That night, a loud crash woke Wilson. He heard his father scream. Running out, he found his dad had fallen down the stairs, badly injured. And right next to Wilson's bed lay the Luvuvu doll, grinning up at him. His mother rushed his father to the hospital, leaving Wilson alone in the house. Terrified, he fell asleep in the living room. But the next morning, he woke up only to find the doll lying on the couch beside him. His horrified mother threw it out into the garbage bin. Wilson thought it was over, but that night, the rocking chair in the living room began moving by itself, and sitting there was the Luvuvu doll. This time, its glass eyes moved and stared directly at Wilson. Shaken, he returned to the old house where the sale had been held. The guard there told him something chilling. The doll had been brought from a toy shop in China. Ever since it entered the family's home, disaster struck them. Illness, financial ruin, constant fighting, until they finally abandoned the house and the cursed doll. The guard also admitted that before the doll was gone, he used to hear unsettling laughter echoing from inside the house at night. The next day, Wilson carried the doll to school and threw it onto the playground. But his best friend Chris picked it up, teasing Wilson for being scared. Suddenly, a baseball flew at high speed and struck Chris's head. He fell right onto a sharp nail lying on the ground. The nail pierced through his skull, and Chris died instantly. Everyone thought it was a freak accident, but Wilson now knew the horrifying truth. The doll was cursed. That night, he tried cutting it into pieces and burning it. But when he returned to his room, the doll was sitting there, smiling. This time, it let out a terrifying laugh that echoed in the darkness. The next morning, Wilson's body was covered with strange bite marks. His terrified parents called a priest. The moment the priest saw the doll, his face turned pale. He declared it wasn't an ordinary toy, it was an evil entity. He performed rituals, locked the doll inside an iron box, and buried it near the same house Wilson had bought it from. Relieved, the family thought the nightmare was over. But the very next day, news came that the priest had died in a car accident. Overwhelmed with fear, Wilson's family abandoned their home and moved to another city. The cursed Luvuvu doll never returned. Yet to this day, Wilson wakes up screaming at night, haunted by nightmares of that golden doll, its glassy eyes and its never-ending devilish smile. If you want to hear more chilling horror stories like this, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel.